Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Monday, March 26, 2012. I'm Tim Bartos. This is my guest today, Amy Aldrich, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Amy in just a couple of minutes. We are so glad that you logged on. And for those of you who maybe weren't sure what you were logging on to and just found us by mistake, this is a live web chat. And I host the segment 6 on Seniors right here on CBS 6 each and every Monday during the noon news. And we talk about all kinds of things related to seniors and caregivers and just about everyone else in between. And today, and this is actually meant to be an extension of the segment. And today we talked about insurance, and Amy is an insurance specialist, and she is here to answer your questions about insurance, whatever they might be. Or maybe you have a comment about something I said during the segment, or maybe the weather. You want to talk about the weather? We'll talk about the weather too. But no, primarily we're here for to answer your questions and want to hear your comments regarding insurance. So there are three ways that you can get in touch with us. We are live right now at the CBS studios right here on Balltown Road in Niskayuna. And you can send us a question or a comment through email. And that is right here, chat@cbs6albany.com. Chat, C-H-A-T, at cbs6albany.com. You can also send it through the CBS 6 Facebook page, which if you haven't liked CBS 6 Facebook page, be sure to like CBS 6. We have now over 15,000 people who like CBS 6. And while you're doing that, you might want to consider becoming a friend of Baptist Health and Baptist Health Nursing, I can't even say my own place, Baptist Health Nursing and Rehab Center's Facebook page as well. And Amy has a page, and that is Amy Aldrich State Farm. So you might want to consider liking her Facebook page as well. And lastly, if you're into Twitter, tweet us a question. We'd love it. Tweet us a question. So those are the three ways that you can get a hold of us. Now, those of you who tune into this every week, or log on, that's the correct terminology. Gotcha. Those of you who log on every week know that I always have a thought for the week before I introduce my guest. And my thought for this week is, experience is a great teacher, but she often sends one terrific bill. How about that one?
I like that, and I've gotten those bills.
You've gotten those bills? I know I've gotten those bills. So something to think about as you go about your week. And I have to mention one other thing, because I caught it on the CBS 6 website this morning. They had on there random fact number 96, and that fact said, according to researchers, Monday mornings are so depressing that on average, humans don't crack a smile until 11:16 a.m. I find that hard to believe.
That's amazing.
But you know what? It's 12:35, and so we're smiling.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what time you cracked your first smile this morning, but mine was certainly before 11:16 this morning.
Mine
that's for
too.
sure. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Amy, I am so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you for inviting me, Tim. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, you're very welcome. Amy Aldrich is the owner of Aldrich State Farm Insurance and Financial Services in Glenville, New York.
Correct.
You opened your agency in 2008 in Socia Plaza, right, in Glenville. And you hold a property and casualty insurance license, life, accident, and health license, Series 6 and 63 securities license.
Correct.
And mortgage loan originator's license, and you're also a notary public.
Correct.
So I think you know what you're talking about.
I'm
today.
a busy lady.
So you are very, very busy. You're also very active in the community.
Yes, I am.
And you're the president-elect of the Schenectady Kiwanis Club, treasurer of Glenville Business Professional Association.
Correct.
And you've been on the Glenville Small Business Economic Development Committee, right? And Domestic Violence Rape Crisis Center of Saratoga.
Yes.
And past PTA president in the Ballston Hills, Ballston Lake School District.
Yep,
Did I get that right?
Burn Hills, Ballston Lake.
Burn Hills, thank you,
BHBL.
thank you. Right, BHBL, that's right. We should all, those of us who live around here should know that. But anyway, so you've been very active. And you also have a Mini Cooper that you drive.
I do, yes.
That has your picture on it.
Yes.
So if you see a little red and white Mini Cooper going around town, and you
That's
see
me.
this lady's face, that's Amy.
That's me.
So you can wave and say that you know Amy. And you've been married for 21 years.
21.
Your husband, Bruce,
Yes.
and you have 2 kids,
Yes,
right?
I do.
Haley and Dylan? Did I
Haley
get
and
that?
Dylan, yes.
Haley and Dylan.
That's
Wow.
right, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And if you want to get in touch with Amy, I'm not going to go through it because we will have it on the Facebook page and I believe on the CBS 6 website as well.
Okay.
But we're going to have your phone number and all your contact information there, so don't worry about having to write that down. Again, thanks for being here.
You're
Let's
welcome.
get right into this
Okay.
because I'm sure that folks are very interested in knowing a little bit more about insurance and that they probably have some questions.
Great.
So let me start. As people get close to retirement, or let's say they're in retirement, what are some of the things for them to consider with respect to their insurance plans?
Okay. Great question,
Good
Tim.
place to start?
Absolutely,
Okay. Thank you.
absolutely. And the way that I like to look at it is to think about your entire asset protection plan, not just your auto insurance and your homeowner's insurance, but how can you completely cover all of your assets and protect them against a catastrophic loss. As you had mentioned earlier, you need to protect yourself against catastrophic losses. The whole concept of insurance is that we all pay a little bit of money in so that you don't get hit hard when something big happens.
Right.
So a couple $100s a year for your home insurance instead of $150 to however much to rebuild your home if something happens and you're not properly insured.
Right, right.
And, you know, if you think about it as protect the golden egg, but also protect the goose. So things like life insurance and disability insurance and those types of things. So just an overall comprehensive plan.
That's very important as well. You're right.
One thing to think about.
That's a good way to think of it. Right. Not only the nest egg, but the goose as well.
The goose who creates that nest egg.
Right.
And you know, as seniors get into retirement, some people think that it's okay to reduce your coverages. Every situation is different, and you really need to make sure you're doing what's right for you and your family. But if you think about it, you've worked for all those years to build that nest egg and hopefully retire in comfort. And you don't want to, for sometimes a few dollars a year, put all that in jeopardy. Okay? If you've not already retired, you can consider fine-tuning and tweaking your asset protection plan before you go on to a fixed income. So it might be a good time to think about that.
Sure.
And if you don't already have an insurance professional that you work with, look for a highly recommended person who will sit down with you and work through your particular situation, someone who you trust and who you're comfortable with, and also someone who your spouse or your family would be comfortable in seeking advice from if you're no longer available.
Sure. Now, is there anything, any credentials, particular credentials that you should look for if you're looking for somebody with insurance? That,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fully licensed, certainly. There are a lot of designations in insurance like you have when you're a CPA, things like a certified life underwriter, property casualty underwriter, certified financial planner, all of those types of things are designations that you can get. Not everyone has them, but those are also some triggers as to how to identify some folks.
And I would imagine it's probably a good idea to try to work with one person, if you can, who knows all of your needs and can best incorporate everything that you might need into one, rather than trying to work with 3 or 4 different agents, let's say, and they may not have knowledge, and you might be duplicating some coverage, right?
You may, and those are some things that certainly are important. You know, putting all of your things together could get you a good cost savings. You certainly are looking holistically at all the pieces of the puzzle. And if you, I tend to work with attorneys and accountants as a team for the mutual benefit of our clients, so that you are looking at everything, because all of those pieces are important.
My point exactly, right. Yeah.